Hey everyone, so I am your instructor for English 101. I'm sorry it took me so long to make this video. Um, I was working on trying to use WebEx and just having a little bit of difficulty with that. It was not working with me this past week. So usually I would have a video up every week, but this one is coming to you a little bit late. So I apologize for that. I just wanted to introduce myself. So my name is Sasha Reese. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I used to live in New Jersey. I taught at Burlington County College when I was out there, and I also taught at BCIT, West Hampton. And I lived in Mays Landing and I lived in Hamilton when I was in New Jersey. So at this point, it's been about 11 years since I was in New Jersey, but I've still been teaching for um, RCBC ever since I left. So I teach remotely only. Um, I have a son, he's 5 and just started kindergarten. So that's been an exciting start to this school year, an exciting ride. And I'm also an autistic support teacher for Pittsburgh Public Schools. So I teach students in 3rd through 5th grade who have autism. They're mostly with me for the entirety of the day. Some of them go out to other classes and things. So that's a little bit about my background. I've been teaching, this is my 15th year teaching. I've taught elementary school, middle school, high school. I taught at the University of Pittsburgh for a little while. So a lot of different experiences. If any of you are interested in the education field, let me know and I can give you some recommendations and ideas if you would like any. So as you're completing your week 1 assignment, I did have a couple of questions about that assignment and I just wanted to, clarify some things for you. Some of the assignments in this semester are a little bit different than they have been in the past because they changed the edition of the book. Um, so I wanted to draw your attention to that. And I also wanted to draw your attention to the discussion board. So the student introductions until today, when I just edited it, didn't have a grading component. So I added that because I always want to grade your discussions. If you're doing them, you deserve points for them. But make sure that you respond to another person. So for this first discussion post, for the student introduction, you're going to introduce yourself, and then if you haven't already done so, and then if you also haven't already done so, respond to at least one other peer, ideally 2. So in the future, when you're doing your discussion posts, you're going to be posting to at least 2 other people. For this one, though, for the first one, because I didn't make you aware of that either, because I didn't have a video and I didn't have the grading criteria on there yet, just please respond to one other person. So that way you can get full credit for the discussion post and for the assignment, okay? And also, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let me see if I can find what I would like to share with you. Hopefully this is working. So that should be sharing my desktop. Yep. Okay. And I'm going to pull up my course here, and we're just going to take a look at that week 1 assignment again very quickly. So over on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see your toolbar that you're able to use to access everything. Instructor information is where there's some info about me. So it has my email, sconnors@rcbc.edu, and then it also has my phone number, and that is my cell phone number. So please feel free to use that if you would like to reach out and talk to me about anything. You can text me ideally during the day so that way I can get back to you. If you send me any messages on the coffee house, I'm not going to be able to access those during the day because I am teaching. So it's best if you text me, and then if I have time, I can get back to you at lunch or at another time in the day. So that's that information. Under the syllabus and schedule, the most important piece of this page is if you scroll down to the topical outline, that's going to give you what is due every week and what you're reading for each week. And hopefully you've navigated this already, but you're going to go to Brightwave to access your textbook. And then you're going to go to Little Seagull Handbook to access that. And Little Seagull Handbook is more of a guide to help you with your research writing or formatting, things like that. But there are some important tools that you can read in there that are helpful. So I'm going to go to Brightwave so we can focus on what was due for week 1 if you've already done that, and what is due if you haven't already done it. So it says complete exercise 1 on page 29. So I'm going to go to that text right now. You're going to click on your course materials. I have a little bit more than you because I have access to the instructor edition of some things. So here we go. I'm going to click read now. And this is the 5th edition. This is a newer edition, so there's some new assignments in here. All right, and if we're looking within the templates, so I'm on page 24 of the text. It has templates for introducing what they say and templates for introducing standard views, templates for making what they say something you say, templates for introducing something implied or assumed, templates for introducing an ongoing debate. So the reason that these sentence structures, they call them templates, but if you want to call them sentence stems or sentence structures or sentence starters or whatever you want to call them, are so important is because this is how you're going to be framing your discussion when you write your research paper. So something important to note is that every assignment within this course is designed so that you are not doing things that are unnecessary. So every assignment is working towards your research paper. And if you complete all of these assignments correctly, as you get into your research writing and into your research paper, you're going to have a lot to work with already. So you're not just sitting there looking at a blank screen like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You're going to have a lot of tools and a lot of writing that you've already done that you can pull from and even use some of to write the research paper. So I'm going to go ahead and down to the assignments that we're going to do. And it says, following is a list of topics people have debated. Working by yourself or with a partner, compose a they say argument for each of these topics using any of the templates from this chapter. So here's your topics down here. We've got free college tuition at public universities, social media use among teenagers, the value of studying the humanities in college, public funded clean needle exchanges, and assigning homework in elementary school. So all of these topics, it says following is a list of topics people have debated. Working by yourself or with a partner, you're obviously working by yourself for this one. Compose a they say argument for each of these topics. So for each one, A through E, you're going to decide which template applies to you. And excuse me for 1 second, I have to get my cord. My computer's going to die. So you're going to decide which template applies to you, and which one is going to be the best template for you to use in order to complete each of those debate topics. So that part is up to you. The debate part is up to you, deciding which of the templates are going to work best for you, and what's going to help you the best. Also, if any of those topics that are in there are of interest to you, make note of that, because you could potentially already be starting your working towards your research paper topic as you're doing this. So I'm going to plug this in real quick. I hate to have to do this, but my computer is Okay, so that is that assignment. So that first assignment is choosing any of those templates and writing on each of those topics. So it does not have to be long. Someone had asked me if it should be bullet points or paragraphs. However you want to write this first one, just to get you thinking and brainstorming, is totally fine with me. I'm going to be very lenient on how I grade that, as long as it's completed and I can tell that you put some effort and thought into it. Okay, so that is that part. So I'm going to go back. Whoops. Try to navigate back here to our classroom. And we're going to look at week 2. Okay, so here's our overview of week 2, which will start tomorrow. Okay, so we're reading part 2 or chapter 2 in They Say, I Say, and you're going to be looking at the writing processes in the Little Seagull Handbook. And I'll go back to that syllabus so you can see what pages those are on. And your assignment is to create the Believing Game post from page 41 of They Say, I Say. It says, to get a feel for Peter Elbow's Believing Game, write a summary of some belief that you strongly agree with. Then write a summary of the position that you actually hold on this topic. So think about something that you disagree with, something that you strongly disagree with. And then it says write a summary of the position that you actually hold on this topic. Write 2 separate paragraphs, and you're going to post them together using the topic of your paragraphs as the subject of the post. So one paragraph that you write, you're going to write 2 separate paragraphs. One is going to be your actual position on whatever topic you choose, okay? The other is going to be the exact opposite. So the total opposite. So some people might say, and I'm not saying this is my stance or anything, I'm just saying. So for example, I know a very big topic of debate right now in the state of Texas is abortion laws. Some people might say they strongly disagree with abortion. So their paragraph, their one paragraph might be their actual belief that they strongly disagree with it, and they would write that paragraph. And then the other paragraph is going to be written in such a way that they are in favor of abortion rights. And your job here is to make it so that your reader cannot tell the difference between your real belief and the opposition. So you want to write it in such a way that it sounds very believable in both paragraphs, and then as other students in the class are reading it, they have to decide which one is your actual belief. And this is a good practice because when we're writing research writing, we want to make sure that we're focusing on being very objective. And objectivity is important in research writing because we aren't using, I think this, I would do this. We're using, even though we might have a little, of course, we're going to have some bias laced into there, but you want to show the position of researchers, the position of scholars that you're using to show your argument or your point without being judgmental. So that's what this exercise is about. So I'm going to shoot over to that page so you can see that. I probably already had it open up here. I did. So I think it said it was 41. So let's go to that. Oops, hold on. And you know what? It's actually 44. It's on page 44. So I will fix that in the post when I'm done. The pages are a little bit off because of the change in the edition. So on page 44, it says, to get a feel for Peter Elbow's Believing Game, think about a debate you've heard recently, perhaps in class, at your workplace, or at your home. Write a summary of one of the arguments that you heard. So this is also another way to do this. Then write a summary of another position in the same debate. Give both of your summaries or paragraphs. You're going to post both of those into the discussion post. And we're going to guess which one we think it is. And also something to draw your attention to here on page 43, it says verbs for introducing summaries and quotations. Instead of while you're writing argumentative writing, a lot of times we say, so-and-so said, blah, 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 blah. These are some other verbs that you can use in place of just saying said. So maybe they asserted, they believed, they claimed, to kind of spice it up so you're not using the same verbs, throughout the entire research paper. So that just keep that list or keep that page in mind as you're working. So that is what you're going to do. It's on page 44, and I'm going to go back to that again, and I will fix that as I am finishing this up. The Believing Game post is right here. It says, and this was because I had this in here before. I'm going to edit this right now as we're talking. I think it says to complete your original post by Saturday. That's fine. That's actually a fine timeline, because then everybody has until Tuesday in order to respond to 2 peers. So make sure this week, as you're thinking about getting your work done, that by Saturday at midnight, you post your original post so that other people have time to work through this and, read some of the posts and respond to some of the posts. So I'm going to leave that just as is, and then I'll make sure that I change that page number. If you're looking down through, it says every 2 posts, and then this is worth 20 points. I'm going to move my face here and click submit. So that is a summary of weeks 1 and 2. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I would need to share with you at this time. I don't think so. But if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out. It's difficult for me to respond to emails and things throughout the day, but I will try. And, in the evening when I'm home, I'll check my emails. I do check them on my phone, but if it's like something that I have to look into, I don't always have time to sit down and address the question right away. If it's something that I'm able to answer, then I'll text you back or email you back, right away. So, don't hesitate to reach out. I give you my cell phone number for a reason. So that way, when you need to get in touch, you can. If you have any questions, I really want you to succeed in the course. I'm excited to work with all of you. And, I'm sorry. I'm sorry again that my introduction was so late, but if you need anything, let me know, and good luck with this week's assignments. I look forward to reading your writing. And today as well, I'm going to be going back through those introductions and responding to some people that I haven't managed to get to yet. And then if you have not responded to a peer, make sure that you make that a priority, and make sure that you turn in your assignment 1 by this evening, because it is due tonight. Okay? All right. Thank you, and have a great week.